All right, y'all, Ron Goodall, FightHype.com, here to make a quick video. You guys haven't heard some breaking news about maybe a little bit over an hour ago since I recorded this. Canelo Alvarez will be defending his super middleweight title against Terence Crawford September 13th in Las Vegas, live on Netflix. It's been a fight that we've kind of already knew that was in the works and kind of just needed to get the details after a couple news articles have kind of, change some stuff up. It might not be in Vegas, it might be in Vegas, yada, yada, yada. Not on the 12th, now officially on the 13th. Will it be at the Allegiant Stadium? Don't know. Dana White, UFC, don't know. Sella enters the picture, which is strange because Sella's always been kind of part of these events. But anyways, to give you some details, I wrote some notes. Just woke up from a nap not too long ago, so I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. But pretty much in preparation through all of this, they will have a 3-city press tour. The first one will be at Boulevard City in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, pretty much where Canelo fought William Skull, and that's when they did their first face-off. The second one, June 22nd, I believe it's a Sunday. The press tour will be in New York for the Fanatics Fest. I believe it's an event that aims to bring like sports superstars and fans together to make some sort of engaging experience. I'm not exactly sure, but it may be open to the public. They may make a public press conference. I'm not sure, but it will only make sense if it's something like that. And then lastly, the press tour will conclude June 27th. I believe it's a Friday at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And pretty much we still don't have a venue. It sounds like they do have some sort of confidence of being able to still make the fight, which is why they announced it without the actual venue. I know Allegiant Stadium was the leading candidate and still may be for some reports that I've seen. However, there's been concerns because they've had college football arrangements there on Saturday. So I don't know if they're going to be able to move or rearrange or change some stuff. But if not, I'm sure MGM's involved somewhere along the line as a backup, if not already the ones that are promoting or going to be the venue for the promoted event, because the third press conference is going to be at the T-Mobile Arena. So either it's at MGM, T-Mobile, Allegiant Stadium, it's somewhere in Vegas for them to announce it again, right? Riyadh season's also going to be partnered with Sella, like I said, which has already been part of Crawford, Madrimov, Canelo, William Skull, Anthony Joshua, Dubois, so no surprise here. But Dana White will also be part, UFC's Dana White will be part of the whole shebang and part of the promotional build-up. So at the end of all of this, right? We still don't have a venue, so we're still waiting on that. Tickets aren't up. I will be attending at least one of these press conferences and will be covering Fight Week. But we are stepping in, the right direction. Boxing will now be on a non-pay-per-view model, right? So if people have Netflix, they don't have to spend extra money. Just kind of like how they did Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Hopefully they have learned from the bandwidth situation and they won't have any hiccups. None of the undercard or anything has been, announced. So we don't know who else will be on there. I'm sure things will be kind of unveiling over time. And we've seen some footage of Crawford already in Omaha. If you know, typically Crawford does a pre-camp in Vegas and then goes out to Colorado Springs or wherever. So I think he's slowly entering the pre-camp. I know that they usually do a send-off in Omaha, so I'm assuming it'll probably be somewhere in July, just how lining time and dates up. So Crawford already looks like he's getting ready to get in that position to start training for this fight. I just saw him in Norfolk. He did put on some extra weight. He looks a little bit bigger. And I'll be curious to see how he'll be able to move up 2 weight classes from 154 and compete against a guy who's been competing there for quite some time, Canelo Alvarez. Both just consistent professionals. They're gym rats. I'm expecting nothing but the best from these guys. And personally, even though I have Canelo currently, if I had to make betting odds, doesn't mean I'm picking Canelo to win, but if I had to make betting odds, I would favor Canelo should be the favorite. And in that sense, I still expect a competitive fight and high IQ fight. And at some point, I'll probably be able to give you guys like an official opinion breakdown when things are a little bit closer, once I can kind of conclude more details and more factors after I see maybe like media workouts and etc. But overall, this is one of those type of fights where it's supposed to define the one, right? Ironic, there's a poster that the ring is using that is almost identical as Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo. But neither here or there. It's kind of the still same concept. You got two guys who the public feel are some of the best boxers on planet Earth, lacing up the gloves to show who potentially is the best guy. And at this point, I'm excited. I'll be covering that fight week. I do personally wish that at some point, win or lose, that Canelo will fight David Benavidez, especially if he's able to win against Terence Crawford. I think at that point, there's really nothing else outside of maybe a Bivol rematch. You know, granted, he beats Arthur or David Benavidez. And if Terence wins, I'm assuming there's a rematch clause, so it might probably go 2 times, or maybe he just retires. I'm not sure. But this is where we're at. We got 2 guys who the boxing world views as some of the best boxers on planet Earth officially getting in the ring. As a reminder, September 13th, Las Vegas, undisclosed venue on Netflix. Tell your friends who aren't boxing friends, hey, it's no pay-per-view. You'll be able to watch it, and we'll be able to see, can Terence Crawford do what many people are kind of suspicious about, being able to be a 3-time undisputed champion in the 4-belt era? Or is Canelo going to show he's just way too big, way too strong, and just overall the more experienced and better fighter? So this is Ron Goodall once again here at Fight Hype. Check out all the details coming up. We got a whole bunch of videos also this week with Richardson Hitchens fight week against Kambosos. If you also haven't seen, we have a lot of Keyshawn Davis interviews, posts, right? Not Keyshawn specifically, but you know, Abdullah Mason, Not Here Albright, the promoters of RDR, and if you want to go check those out. But sorry guys, tongue tied. Keep your eyes locked here on Fight Hype for all the best news out there. You can follow me on Twitter at Fight Hype, Ron G, if you want to kind of engage with me. Other than that, you guys take care. Peace.